Baba Kite, welcome to today's Satsang at the Hedikana Universal Ashram with these wonderful folks who have come all the way from Italy to join us. And I believe there's more people coming. And thank you to Gayatri, our Italian liaison. All this up, and she can help with any names that I don't know. So the idea is that we share. And a lot of times is that, how did we get to Babaji, or what was the inspiration? What's the inspiration we carry now? And then people ask questions as well. So since I highlighted you first, Karma Singh, are you ready?
Yes, I hope so.
Karma Singh, I'm going to ask one thing is that because it's accent and everything, if you could, everybody could speak a little slower, and because some of us have 72-year-old ears like me, and so if you could speak just a little slower will help me and probably other people too. Okay, thanks, because I want to hear every word.
I didn't understand all, but
ha chiesto se puoi parlare un po' più lento, così lei puoi capire. Sei raggiunti, amore.
Okay. So for me, I don't know. Penso c'è una strana storia io con Babaji, perché l'ho cercato per 3 anni prima.
I looked for him for 3 years before I found him.
E sono andato per tutta l'India dal 74 al 76, dal 76 al 78. Ho girato tutta l'India, nord, sud, est, ovest, cercando Babaji.
All over India looking for Baba.
E naturalmente la storia è iniziata con Yogananda Paramahansa in Autobiografia di uno yogi. Allora mi sono messo a cercarlo per 3 anni. Dopo varie avventure, varie storie che sono veramente un po' complicate e molto lunghe, ho rischiato di morire, ho rischiato di rimanere in India perso in qualche valle, in qualche montagna per tanto tempo, poi alla fine sono riuscito a tornare. Ero un po' andato fuori di testa, mettiamola così.
So he was going all over India with lots of crazy stories. He even almost died. And, but finally, okay, go ahead.
Alla fine sono tornato in Italia. A un certo punto la persona con cui ho viaggiato per 3 anni a cercare Babaji, che ci eravamo nel frattempo lasciati, questo era Ramganti, non so se ve la ricordate.
Yes. But I don't remember you were with Ramganti.
Yes, I was for a few years.
Okay. we move around. Okay, so anyway, the woman that he was with, but they had already broken up, he returned to Italy and he saw her, Ramganti is her name, and then what? She helped you?
Così lei è tornata, mi ha chiamato e mi ha detto: ho trovato dove stava Babaji.
Okay.
Io non ero molto convinto e niente, alla fine dico vabbè, se devo andare andrò, e questo era il mio pensiero.
So his old girlfriend told him she found where Babaji was, but he wasn't completely convinced of it, but he said anyway, okay, if this is him, I will go.
No, so 20 days later I was in the airplane. And comunque ho trovato una situazione per poter comprare delle cose in India e sono partito dopo 20 giorni.
Hai rimasto in Delhi per 20 giorni e poi
dopo 20 giorni in Italia che mi hanno detto di ho trovato Babaji, io sono partito per l'India. Senza così, per andare a vedere Babaji. E niente, quando sono partito ho fatto il mio business a Delhi per 3 giorni e poi sono partito per Erakan. Vabbè, c'è Damsai, piedi, il fiume, la cosa, tutto bello, tutto normale. sono arrivato da Babaji e la prima volta mi sono fermato per 3 giorni.
Oh, the first time he went to Baba, stayed for 3 days.
E
Why?
Babaji in quel momento mi ha dato il nome.
Karma? Karma Singh?
No, è Karam Singh.
He got a name.
You want to make short?
No. No,
Ok.
make long.
Mi diede il nome e mi disse: ma cosa fai qua? Dico: guarda, sono venuto a conoscerti e sto facendo un business a Delhi. E lui mi risponde: fai il business con me?
He said, I came to know you and to do some business in Delhi. Oh, that's why he said, go to Delhi then.
E Babaji mi disse: vuoi fare un business con me? E io dissi: sì, va bene, ok, però quale business? Lui non mi rispose, se ne andò.
So Babaji asked him, do you want to do a business with me? And Karma Singh said, what business? And he didn't answer, but Karma Singh said yes.
And then dopo 3 giorni sono ripartito e sono tornato in Italia. Nel frattempo Babaji mi ha detto: ritorna. Perciò dopo 3 mesi e mezzo sono tornato da Erakan. Però per me non c'era nessun feeling con Babaji, non riuscivo a capire. Io mi aspettavo il grande yogi, io mi aspettavo il guru in meditazione, il mantra, lo yoga, la posizione, tutte queste cose.
Okay, so he was only there those 3 days, but he didn't really have a connection to Babaji. He didn't have a feeling because he was expecting this yogi meditating, you know, this picture from like the book and all that. And instead he found somebody who said, hey, you want to do business with me? But he didn't get it. So he went back, and then he went back 3 months later. So he did a lot of back and forth.
E ci ha messo a lavorare tutti in Gufa Side per tirare giù la montagna, per poter fare il piazzale, per poi fare le case e tutto quanto, no? E ho lavorato 3 mesi e mezzo lì, cercando sempre di scoprire perché Babaji era Babaji. Non riuscivo a capire.
So he was 3 months there working on the Gufa side to take down the mountain where they were putting the temples. And the whole time he was searching to understand how is this Babaji? And what's going on? So
And Shiva, right.
E nello stesso momento non riuscivo a capire come mai c'era gente che arrivava davanti a Babaji e cominciava a piangere, cominciava a dire: questo è il mio guru, l'ho sognato ieri, mi ha dato il mantra, mi ha fatto questo, e a me non succedeva niente del genere.
Okay, so he didn't understand why all these people were coming to Babaji and crying in front of him and getting names and doing all this stuff, and for him really nothing was happening.
E nel frattempo però vedevo anche cosa faceva Babaji, cioè cosa ha fatto tutta la gente che lo amava, tutta la gente che era disposta anche a dare la vita per lui in un certo senso. E poi quello che lui costruiva in Raqqa mi sembrava molto grande, molto bello. Dico, se non è nessuno, come fa a fare tutte queste cose? E questo era il mio dubbio, no?
Yeah, his doubt was, he was like, well, if he's nobody, how is he managing to build all this? And the ashram was getting bigger and bigger. So he was like, well, a lot of people are coming and, they're willing to give their lives to him. So he was trying to understand.
Comunque non riuscivo a capire come mai Babaji avesse tutta questa influenza, però nello stesso tempo capivo che era qualcosa di veramente speciale, no? Però solo mentalmente non riuscivo a capirlo col cuore, mettiamola così.
He couldn't understand mentally.
E Babaji aveva sempre detto: se avete il dubbio, io vi darò tutti i dubbi per dubitare.
Yes, and Babaji said, if you have doubts, I'll give you all the doubts you want to doubt.
Perciò io sono andato avanti così per 2 anni.
Okay, so it was like this for Karma for 2 years.
E vabbè, così comunque sono successe nel frattempo tantissime cose. Dopo 2 anni dopo aver lavorato per 6 o 7 mesi alla Gufa per spostare la montagna, un giorno ho finito i soldi, Babaji, sono andato a fargli i pranami. Io notare che gli ho sempre fatto il pranam in ginocchio, non ho mai fatto il pranam completo all'inizio, per 2 anni.
Okay, for 2 years, he never made full pranam. He always just got down on his knees to make pranam. And after 6 months of working on the Gufa side.
E un giorno c'è stato un fortissimo temporale. La ganga si è alzata, io ero fermo in Gufa Side e così per 3 giorni. Al terzo giorno vedo Babaji che scende le scale per andare al Duni e lì mi viene una voglia.
And he was caught on the Gufa side because the river rose, but after 3 days he could see Babaji coming down the stairs.
E ho sentito un grande desiderio di vederlo, no? Che erano 3 giorni che non ci vedevamo, eravamo bloccati. Allora ho sentito un grande desiderio di vederlo. A un certo punto sono al fiume, vedo passo, non passo, passo, non passo, mi chiama Prembaba, mi fermo una mezz'oretta con Prembaba e poi decido, vedo 2 nepalesi che attraversano abbracciati e decido di attraversare anch'io.
Okay, so he had such a desire to see Babaji after these 3 days he was on Gufa. That first of all, he was by the river, and then Prem Baba called him, so there was a half hour of a chilam or 2, and then he goes back and he sees these planks side by side, and he decides to cross to see Baba.
So vado verso il fiume, metto il primo piede, il secondo piede, il terzo piede, l'acqua mi porta via.
All right, the water took him away, lost his footing.
Io mi ero spogliato e ho messo i vestiti in testa. Camminando mi porta 50 metri a valle. Camminando veloce, veloce, veloce riesco a uscire. Sono uscito un po' spaventato.
Yeah, he made it out. He had his clothes on his head and he crossed, and it took him about 50 meters, but in the end he made it out. But senza vestiti o con vestiti?
No, in longotti con i vestiti in testa.
Ah, ce l'avevi
sì,
ancora?
Ero così.
Right, you still had his clothes. I thought you were going to tell me you were naked. Okay.
Attraverso, a un certo punto mi rivesto, mi cammino verso il Duni e c'era Babaji seduto fuori che stava iniziando un bambino tedesco in longoti. A quel punto lo vedo e Babaji mi chiede, where do you come from?
All right, so he's made it to the Duni. Babaji's at the Duni thing with a little German boy, and Babaji says, where did you come from? Okay, try in English. Where do
you come from? Io ho sempre pensato che tutte le volte che diceva questo, dicevi Italy, lui ti diceva torna al tuo paese.
Yeah, he was like always when he asked that, people would say Italy, and then he'd go back to your country. So he didn't. Did you say Italy?
Allora,
no. You said.
No, allora gli dissi, pensando di essere furbo, vengo dalla Gufa.
Trying to be smart, he said, no, I come from the Gufa side.
E Babaji look at me and said, ok. E in quel momento ho capito veramente, dico, ma perché io sono venuto qua perché volevo vedere ah no, scusa, lui mi ha chiesto perché sei venuto e io gli ho detto perché c'ho la frutta da vendere e se no va male e la butto via. Invece non era vero perché
asked, why did you come? And he said, because I have fruit to sell and it will go bad.
Ma sapevo benissimo che c'era Uruk Singh che la vendeva. Perciò era una scusa e in quel momento ho realizzato.
He was giving an excuse. He really wanted to see Babaji. He knew that Uruk Singh could sell the fruit for him. So, you know, he was not telling the whole truth.
Allora in quel momento ho capito, ho detto, ma sono uno stupido. Volevo vedere Babaji e mi sono inventato una storia, mentre volevo vedere te.
He said, now he's thinking, now I'm stupid because what I really wanted is to see Babaji. Why I told him I was here to sell fruit. Okay.
E in quel momento mi sono buttato a terra e ho fatto il full pranam per la prima volta a Babaji. E ho pensato tra di me, non mi interessa chi sei, Yogananda, Babaji Yogananda, sei maestro, non me ne frega niente, sei superiore a me e mi inchino a te. E ho
So
fatto
in
il
that
full pranam.
moment, he made his first full pranam to Baba, lying full down. And he said, it doesn't matter to me who you are, if you're Yogananda, if you're God, if you're Shiva, anything, you're superior to me, so I make full pranam to you.
Io avevo un'ampolla in mano e ha cominciato a buttarmi acqua addosso, Gema Maya, Gema Maya. Sdraiato in terra, mi ha lavato tutto completamente.
Wow. All right, so what did he have? A lampone?
Sorry?
What's that? What did he have in his hand?
A big lota.
One,
Oh, he had a big lota. And while Karma Singh was in his full pranam, Babaji started to throw the water around with the lota, saying Jai Mahamaya ki jai.
Right.
Yeah, he was so
in
happy you came full pranam. Look at that.
in quel momento mi sono alzato e mentre mi alzavo e lo guardavo ho sentito una fitta fortissima al cuore e probabilmente qualcosa si è aperto. E da quel momento non ho più avuto dubbi su Babaji.
Yeah, and so when he got up, he had this big opening of his heart, and yeah, that was it. He was his. He was his stamp. Beautiful.
But take 2 years. For me, take 2 years, minimum.
Io sempre
Then for
detto,
another...
amore.
Sorry?
Io sempre detto.
Yeah. But, you know, I'm...
Hard nut to crack.
Tempi non
Hard
esiste.
nut to crack. Right. Coconut head.
Time doesn't exist. It's okay.
Some people,
Beautiful. Grazie mille.
some people take forever. Thank you.
But there is, maybe in another time, there is many story.
No, okay.
Many
you
small
will
stories.
have another turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Torniamo a te.
Va bene. Voleva Bakije.
Holy Baba.
Yeah.
Io.
So, Prem Das, can you tell us, or do you want to move to, yeah, Prem Das, do you want to?
Matari and Kalawa.
Yes, well, I never met Babaji. I don't know if the topic is the people that...
No, it's how you came. You have met Babaji, trust us.
Oh, well.
Yeah,
okay.
you are Babaji.
So tell us how your heart came to Babaji, Prem Das.
Well, I was the first time I met Babaji, I heard about Babaji was, I think in 1979. I was in India in 76 and 79. And I was in Dharamsala, Mekloganji. And a British man that I met up there, he told me about Babaji, and he drew me a map how to get in Erakan in 79. But I never went in Erakan. I stayed 7 years in Dharamsala and Mekloganji with the Tibetans. Then I got back, actually, I got back, first time I got in Erakan actually was in 1991. And after a long time in Dharamsala, and the feeling was funny, you know, because I've been practicing Tibetan Buddhist for several years, and first time I got on the Ganga River, I had this feeling really that Dharma wasn't anymore a notion, a mental approach to something, was getting into the bloodstream, was getting into action, Dharma in action, you know, that was the feeling I had. And I had some I would say some conflict inside myself, because I tend to separate it, you know, my training with the Tibetans and my new love affair with Babaji. But it didn't take me long to understand that there is no conflict, there is no separation. I needed a certain mental training that the Tibetan can give you. I needed, and I think Babaji sent me there. And I thank him very much for that. And that's since then, from them, I spent, I've been quite a few times in Erakan. And then for me, was Muniraji was a really very important person in my life. And I had the pleasure to meet him. And in the beginning, the first year, I kept like, I kept testing the gold, you know, like try to understand where was the guru, you know. And Muniraji very kindly, slowly, one piece at a time, he brought me close to him and actually saved my life in 2005 because I had some major trouble in my life and a very serious problem, and he called me in Chilianola to work for him, and he actually saved my life doing that, and I had the pleasure to say something for me. Babaji, I never met Babaji, and I cannot tell any story. I can feel and I can see the actual miracle of Babaji, the daily miracle of Babaji is that still after a long time that he left the body, the physical body, he's still calling people everywhere, young people, you know. And then the recent year in Erakan, we met many young people, new devotees that they've been called in airport by a chance. He met somebody, or they got called in a railway station that they didn't know where to go, and they met this devotee. They said, "Why you don't go in Erakan?" Anyway, Babaji is still calling on lots of people, and this is the real miracle. This is the real miracle, the actual miracle, the active miracle of Babaji is still calling people, Bole Baba ki jai.
Hey,
Thank you, Prem Das. Thank you. Yeah, I think it's really important that everybody realizes that Baba is in our hearts and calls us sometimes to his physical form and sometimes in our heart form, which is beautiful. So, okay, on to our next group, Carlita. You're muted, Gayatri.
I said Prem Das is a physical incarnation of karma yoga.
Yeah. He's just telling us how they built something to get people across the river. And every year I would go about the same time Prem Das was there, and he was always doing some project. So
Yeah.
he's a real example of what Babaji taught us. So it's one thing to meet Babaji and sit at his feet, but it's another thing to put it into practice, which is what you really exemplify, Prem Das, to all of us. So thank you.
Bole Baba ki jai.
So I can't see your faces so well. This is Carlita,
Kalawa.
Kalawa, and
Yeah. Yes.
Kalawa, you want to begin?
Today.
Che parli tu sei stato con Babaji. Ah, ok. I tell my experience to get in touch with Babaji's story. It happened that close to my village, they built an ashram that was called Maya Ashram. And with some friend, we went to see this community inside an old castle in the Pianura Padana of Italy, close to Bologna city. It was somehow quite strong beginning because it was full of people dressing in black with big trishul in the hand and something very, very strong. I was already in India a couple of times before, but still inside this castle was something quite close. So we decided to stay for the puja, evening puja and arti. So this was my first puja inside the castle. And I sit on the back, I close my eyes and I hear all this beautiful arti going on. And I was get so much, I love so much all this arti and this prayer. In the end, I said, looks like very crazy people, but with a lot of love inside the heart somehow. So I said, wow, very beautiful. Then I went back. In this year, I was doing my military service. So for 1 year in Italy, you have to do military service that time. So I finished in January 83. And then I decided to go quickly to India again and to meet Babaji. So I get my passport around, I think it was about the 10 and 12 of February 84. So and then 16 of February I flight. When we flight, I was me with a friend, and the news that Babaji left the body was not come yet to us. So we left Italy, that we know that Babaji was well, so that probably we will meet him in Arakan. So we go, and then we reach New Delhi. New Delhi, we go to tourist bungalow, and then very tired from the trip, we get some rest. When we rest, I make a dream. I was following inside a black hole, so deep, so profound. Then at once I was not able to breathe anymore. I was going to die, completely to die. And then I wake up like this, all sweat. So it was around 2:30, 3 o'clock, and I was thirsty. I said, I go to look for a chai, to drink a chai. So there was a little shop inside the tourist bungalow. They make a chai. So I walk, and in front of me, a nice man was coming just in front. There was a little road, so we walked together in the same road in front of each other, one of each other. But the fact was that he was dressed with a very beautiful kurta, but not Indian kurta. It was a kurta like long till the feet, not longy, barefoot with a mala, with long hairs and beard. Looks like Jesus for me. I said, how beautiful this man. And he stopped just in front of my eyes. And he made me 3 questions. So before I come this time to India, one friend that he was meeting, he met Babaji. He told me, when we will reach Arakan, probably Baba will make you 3 questions. Where are you coming from? Which is your name? And why you come here? Why you are here? What you want to do? Something like that. So it happened. This man, he asked me first, you are coming from? I said, from Italy. And then he said, which is your name? My name is Carlo. And then after I thought, well, now is my time to ask him, which is your name? You are coming, but was not possible. Like it was like he only can make questions. So, and he made me the 3rd. He said, why you come here? I said, well, I am with a friend sleeping in the bungalow, and we want to go to Benares, we want to go to Puri, to Nepal. And I thought, well, Babaji is not so, nobody knows Babaji like Sai Baba, so maybe I don't tell. But it come out, I tell to this man, I wanted to go to see one Baba, he's called Erakan Baba, he lives in Kumaun, like this. So when I said Erakan Baba, this man, he put his arm up to the sky and tell to me like, Babaji went up like this. So my head turned up with his arms, I look up. When he turned the arm down and my head come down, it disappeared in front of my eyes. It completely disappeared.
Wow.
So it was not there anymore. Nobody was there. So I ran back to my friend and I tell the story. She doesn't believe. She said, what you did, what you are telling me, no? I mean, you are crazy. I said, believe. I said, it's true. It disappeared in front of my eyes. So it was very, very shocked, because half of my brain was thinking this man that for me was a messenger, I don't know, looks like Jesus, I don't know. Maybe it was Baba himself, I don't know. But it disappeared in front of my eyes, this for sure. So I half brain was already sure that this man told me Babaji left from the hurt, but half brain was saying, "Wow, how possible? Babaji was not old, not sick. We don't know about any." But the truth was that Babaji left from the hurt. So, and then the trip was finishing that we don't go to Arakan this time after Babaji Samadhi. I reached Arakan only in 85. I go back to Italy after some months of traveling in India, and when we reach Italy back, some friend told Babaji, 14th of February, he left his body. So I said, wow, my God, like this man that I saw, he was just telling what was happening in this moment. So it was very, very strong. And then after I've been to Arakan, I met Muniraji, and I love so much this place. I spent many years in Arakan and traveling in India. So this was my contact. Bole Baba ki jai.
Wow.
We're so glad you found your way.
Yes. What a, my God.
And the Devi next to you?
Easy, Kartari Devi.
So, what to say? Well, I always thought in my life, since I was young, that I was going to meet my guru. When I was a child, I knew that I was going to meet a guru in India. But not because I have some special link, just because I was practicing yoga at home, because I had a book of my mom, and there was all this funny position, and I was liking to do the funny yoga position. And then I decided that was my place, go to India. Then after many, many years, I was in Milan in my life, normal life, and the lady was living with me, said, oh, I met one funny lady, she's an astrologist, and she will come in our home tomorrow. She will come because she has to speak with us about the guru. And then I thought, oh, maybe this is the thing I'm looking for. So she came and was Urankatoli. Urankatoli came at home and she made my astrological map chart. And she said, you will lose everything you have now, your house, your boyfriend, everything, because you will go to India to Babaji. So she was always saying to me, you lose what you have now, but you will get something more higher. So now you lose what you have on the earth and you will get something more higher. Okay, I was not very happy at that moment to lose everything. Not at all. Not at all. Also because I didn't know anything about Babaji. But you know, that here in a city, we have some kind of connection. By connection, I met also Paolo Polli. I was in a friend's house one evening and he came, and I remember exactly like a picture. He came all black dress, very tall, and I felt a light coming from him. He was just back from Arakan. And then all evening, it keep on talking about Babaji, Babaji, Babaji. Then I say, oh, it's the same guru that she was talking, the astrologer. So I say, well, this is a calling for me. And somebody offered.
Wait, we lost.
Kartari, you're muted. You're muted.
Oh, it's just muted.
Did you hear me?
Yeah, now.
Yeah.
So somebody offered me a job, okay? And at that time, to accept something for so many months in advance was not from my young age a possibility. So I said, no way, no, I can't accept. But in the night, I had a dream. And somebody was saying to me, you should accept this job, because with that job, with that money, you will get your ticket to go to India to Babaji. So I say, the day after I call and I say, oh, yes, I will do this job because I need that money. So the months I were passing through, and I will start to reading, Yogananda. I will start to inform little bit myself about what was going on, blah, 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 blah. Then in September, I took a flight with Urankatoli, Marietto, and Parvaggi. And we left and we went to Babaji. And I knew I was going, I had to go. Yes, I was passing through l'ashram in, how was the Mamaya ashram in Galeazza. And I met a whole bunch of people, all black army. It was a little funny. It was very crazy, but it was very funny. And we enjoy. But I was feeling that I really should go and meet Babaji, because I was praying to him since I received a picture from Urankatoli. I was praying him every day. I was saying, I don't know who you are, but I want to come to you. Then I met also Guy and Galeazza and so many people that were still very good friends, and Shani and Basanti and blah, 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 blah. Then we left. And when we arrived to India, it was amazing, because I felt that I was knowing everything, like if I have been there for all my life. The streets, the people, the rickshaw, everything was so familiar to me. Then we did the travel, and then we went to Erakan through the mountains. So we arrived there after 5-6 years of walking, and we were exhausted, but we were all black dressed, because Babaji said Italian people, they should dress black. So I had my beautiful dress to be to be black. And then all of a sudden there was a bench of concha, bells, I don't know what, all kind of people running. We didn't understand anything anymore. And we were seeing Babaji walking and running towards us. Like in a movie. And then all of a sudden I saw everybody lie down on the floor. Then also I was lying down on the floor. He jumped on his wall, his little wall. And I saw him, I slowly watched him. And I saw him with red eyes. Wow. Completely with red eyes. And for the first period, I was always split in two parts. One part was saying, oh, what fucking happens to him? He has red eyes. and the other part was saying, wow, it's a vision. And it was always like this. And the first evening we went to a darshan, and I was seeing all these people with no hair, pray, watching him. And I was saying, but with Mario, we were saying, who are all these fucking crazy people watching this fat man laugh? I was always split in the beginning. But the first day I met Fakiruli, I met everybody. Babaji said to us, at 5 o'clock, you come to drink a tea with me. And I find this very normal. We arrive from Italy, and invite us to drink a tea at 5 o'clock. So at 5, we went there to drink a tea. And we were very few of us. And that was really amazing, because he was watching each one of us, and he was giving a little present to each one of us. And he threw to me a rosary, a cross to pray. And for me, that was a sign, because I was always very devoted to Jesus Christ since I was very small. That was really my idam, my guru, So he gave me this present, and then he showed me up a picture of a painting by Leonardo da Vinci, that is, by Raffaello, that is a Madonna with Jesus and a small baby on the side, and a little bird. And he asked to me who they are and who is this baby. And so I say, but one is Jesus, one is the Madonna, and the other one I think is a saint, should be a saint, because there are 3 of them. So it was very satisfied of my explication of the painting. That is we call Madonna of the Cardellino. It's a very special painting in Italy, of this representation of the the Madonna, the baby, the Jesus baby, and the saint, the devotion. It represents the devotee, this baby. Is the devotion. And then we had a little talk like this, and then he watched, and then I had the darshan, because he watching me, and his eyes, they went like water, like if his eyes, they melt in front of me. They just melt, like if he had water in the eyes. And there was really a flash, a contact, something very, very deep. And then was my darshan, and then he said, tomorrow you come with me for a trip. And then we left the day after, and then he started all the trip, the story, and I've been around for months with him. That was first meeting. But, you know, I was always very split, because there was the relative part, and I was saying, no, who is this? And I was judging the things. And then I got this glimpse. It was giving me a kind of, not proof, I can't call proof, but some kind of flash that I can describe, you know, it's just when you get something inside. I think it's something that we all had, right?
Yeah.
That's it.
Very good.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
What year was that?
Where?
What year?
83. 83.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Boy, the fun we had in that castle, though.
Oh, yes. I saw
yeah.
Gayatri. First time I saw Gayatri was in the
Yeah, that
toilet.
castle
Was fantastic. She had half face with makeup and half face without.
no.
I can never forget. And I say, what? Such a funny lady.
It's so great, that castle. So Ramota has joined us too.
Yes,
Okay, Ram.
Rota.
I
Ciao.
went to ciao.
Love you.
I
Love
was a
you.
little late. I came from Bari. I brought a friend to the airport.
Oh, that's always fun.
So you all know so well this Mahamaya ashram, but it was closed and failed. Do you know what happened?
The tower came down. Earthquake.
No, but before then, the ashram never started. It was very short. It lived 1 year, 1 year and a half, and then failed.
Yeah.
How? What happened?
Well, ego took over. That's my guess, anyway.
So Ramnota, we've heard many of your stories, but do any of these stories touch something in your heart that you would like to share with us? Whether in the present or in Baba Day?
Well, today also I'm fine because I was just 2 hours and a half in the car driving. And I'm very happy just to listen all my brothers and sisters. I'm very happy. I saw Calva. Long time not see Calva. Ciao.
Oh,
Very happy. So I'm just happy. If I have something, if it comes, I will ask permission.
I have an Italian story.
Okay, Miss Italian.
Okay, so I was going to Babaji with Leonard Orr, and we got to Schweibenalp, the ashram in Schweibenalp on Guru Purnima, and I was motivated to shave my head, which in the 3rd floor of Schweibenalp, I shaved my head for the first time. And Leonard was like, well, now you can't come to Poland. No, I'm not taking any bald woman to Poland to rebirth with me. So I said, okay. And there was these Italians, Turkan Tom, well, Gopal Hari and Wolfgang were not Italian, but Turkan Tom, yes. And they invited me to Italy. So I went to this, I decided, yeah, I'm not going with Leonard. I'll go to this ashram, this castle. And
There's a picture.
yeah, with me with that. So anyway, all right, I go, and I'm supposed to go to Babaji, but I fell in love with the white-haired guy up in the corner there, Karma Singh, and I got a little distracted. So I spent 3 months in Italy. And but it was a good time. It was a great time because I met all my family. I mean, I've always felt like my biggest Babaji family is in Italy, and it was just fantastic work. It was a castle. We made jam, we made bread. I stained the stone floors of the castle with red wax. Oh my God, my knees were red for months. Anyway, so I started to wear black, like the Black Army. So after 3 months, I decided I have to go to Babaji. In Karma Singh's apartment in Milan, I did a tarot reading, and it was Babaji was in the room, and I said to him, I gotta go. So anyway, long story short, I get to India, and so one day, Babaji gives to Kartari, Parvaji, and I think Uran was the other one, this beautiful black saris with metallic thread in them. And I saw these saris, or they made them into Punjabis. I don't know, Kartari will correct me, but
Kurtas, Punjabis.
It was so beautiful. And so I wanted one. I was envious, and I wanted one. So I said, oh, yeah, I also wanted Babaji to reconfirm that I fit in best with the Italians. So I said to him, oh, Babaji, I want something black. I want something black. Well, the next day we leave for this tour. And we stop at night in Haldwani. I think it was Amar Singh's house. And he's there and he's doing darshan and he's giving us, and he starts to throw fruit. And he looks at me really strong and he takes the apple and he pulls it back and he throws it, and I ducked. And I went like this, and it's instinctual. I have 3 older brothers, and every time they raise their hands or something, I duck because I'm expecting. So he threw that, and I ducked right into the apple into my eye, and I had a black eye for a week. And I would say, "Well, you wanted something black." I mean, I had a shiner. I took that apple right in the eye. It was like, be careful what you ask for. But anyway, I was like, okay, I'm Black Army.
I have also something black.
Yeah.
Lila eterno. Very nice.
Lost sound.
Lost Paolo?
No sound.
Who's speaking?
Nobody.
Oh, okay. If somebody has a question, you can ask, or if one of our
Paolo, è arrivato Paolo!
Paolo Poli, sì.
Ecco, stavo chiamando.
About Letizia.
Letizia said she didn't think her English was good enough.
Oh, come on. Really?
Yep, that's what she said.
Well, she could have just
But
appeared.
Paolo here, I don't see him. Lì!
Ciao Paolo. Buongiorno.
Ciao Paolo.
Okay, everybody, this is our painter, our glorious painter. All those beautiful paintings you've seen at Babaji, 95% come from Paolo.
So, guys,
Wow.
help me identify the name.
Oh, Raghunandan! Oh, okay, sorry. Paolo is with Kartari. And there you see Raghunandan. Paolo and Raghunandan are in the screen of Kartari.
Okay, what's the name on the screen?
They are in my
because-
house.
Yeah, we are in the house of.
Yeah, they're in Kartari's house
Ciao.
from Loti.
Okay, I just can't find their picture to highlight them. What does it say on
No,
their?
they're in Kartari's picture.
Caterina. Caterina
Caterina.
di Alghia.
Proprio.
Okay, oh,
They are already highlighted.
oh, okay, I'm sorry. All right, there we go. We good?
Yeah.
Okay, so somebody share?
Paolo, he's just
No, no.
arrived to tell a story.
To
Ti ho prima
what?
nominato
Which one?
io.
No, no, no.
Paolo has so many stories.
Oh my God.
He went many times. Tell about the first time, Paolo, how you got to Bala.
The story. So, and I came the first time with Goradevi, that was coming back from England after 1 year that she was in Europe, and then she came back to Babaji after this year. And it was a group with 9 persons, me, Settimo, Filippo from Milano, other people that I don't know very well. And Goradevi told to us to bring some LSD because Babaji need to make a treatment for Western people. So we used to took much LSD in this time, and Filippo had a box, a little box with 20-30 dose of LSD, and we came to Erakan and we took LSD before to come, me and Filippo. So the story was that, and we give to Babaji all the presents that we bring from Italy, and and Babaji said there is something more for me, and people said okay, there is that, and he bring this box full of LSD. He opened the box, and some Indian came inside to the ashram and passed by Babaji to make pranam, and Babaji said to open the mouth, and he put 1, 2 LSD, and they go. And also the mother of Muniraji bring a double dose, and in few minutes the box was empty. 10 people, something like that, bring the LSD, and then Babaji give back the box and go away, and we was very curious to see what's happened in the ashram with all these people that took LSD, and so we was around to see, but all this guy was very quiet. One was cutting the vegetables, the other one was cleaning the floor. Nothing, no problem. And so we understood that the Western people that have to, the experiment of Babaji was for us to understand that if we are in a consciousness level outside the mind, the LSD doesn't work anymore. And so this was the first step with Babaji. And then, okay, other story is finished. The first time was that. And by night was very strong. The first night was very strong because the effect of LSD for us was very strong, and I felt that I was in contact with other friend during the night, but I don't remember if we was sleeping or not. But we start to laugh all the night in one level very strange of consciousness. In the morning, next morning, Babaji said that we made much mass during the night and much noise, and we have to go away quickly, come back. No one day in Erakan, just the night after.
Proprio i discoli
and
E
said,
ti ha
no,
mandato via?
yeah, everybody make a luggage, and Goradevi said, you go in Kirtan Hall to say hello to Babaji before to go. And we was very sad, very sad. And then Babaji was laughing in a Kirtan Hall, and was not angry. And he start to ask the name and give the Indian name to everybody. And then he showed to us a big room where we have to stay to sleep, and he changed idea.
So you didn't leave.
We didn't leave. We didn't leave. Was always a strange, yeah. Okay.
So how did you feel when you were with Babaji, particularly the next morning when you weren't high on LSD? How was your feeling in your heart when you started meeting? And yeah, if we can block that a little bit, turn the camera more toward Paolo.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Goradevi came to us to say that Babaji told to us to go, and we was very surprised, obviously. And she said, before that you go, Babaji want that I read this paper to you. And she started to read this paper in which was that Kranti was very, very close, that all the world was in a big problem, the possible atomic war, something really, really terrifying. And was a double shock to go back just after one night and to hear this news about the end of the world. It's very dramatic, very strong. So, and then, but everything changed in few minutes, because when Babaji told to us to stay, a very incredible energy came, and we stay few days. The first time was only 1 week, but very, very strong, very strong.
And when did you go back again?
And I came back, I go back after after 6-7 months I came back. And then every year with Babaji I was there. Yeah, some time to time in 1 year I went back there.
Why?
Ramlota. I remember the first time that I saw Ramlota. He just came in the ashram, and we start to talk in Italian, and the first things that he told to us, but here everybody seems so crazy. It's a mental hospital.
E viene a molti la prima volta.
Well, you know, I think that says a lot about me. That says a lot about me. Dice molto di me. I was coming from a mental hospital. My home was a mental hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I remember that you came, Filippo, and you started talking Italian, and you were so loud, and you took out a piece of parmesan in the big hall after, and you started eating this chunk of parmesan cheese. And then you asked something to me, and I pretended I was Dutch. I didn't want to talk with you.
Yes, everybody, they share the same birthday. You recognize something familiar. Oh,
It came to me a little story, a short story that is nice, I think, because it gives us an idea of how Baba was working to break down all the separations. You know, maybe I told you I was doing this Italian International Diamond restaurant in front of the Gufa. and Navaratri came, and with Navaratri, all the Vrindavan sadhus came, a large group, maybe 20 of them, to sing. You know, those sadhus who sing so beautifully the Ramayana throughout all the
Ramayana.
beautiful sound of Navaratri in Arakan. So, and Babaji said to them to make their kitchen just next to the restaurant. It was the Italian restaurant here against this big rock now near the top of the Gufa. So my restaurant was there with a little shed hut of leaves, and next the sadhus were doing their restaurant. And so there was this beautiful cook, sadhu cook, very nice guy. Every time he burned himself, he would say Ram Ramayan, but you could feel that he was cursing, you know. But he would say Ram Ramayan, Ram Ramayan. It was very nice, very nice. I enjoyed working with him on the other side. And so, and you know, Babaji made the price policy of my chai shop. He put chai, coffee, and chocolate little high price, little more high price. All the vices high price. And then he said, you very cheap fruit salad and dahi and yogurt, because the Westerners, they are used to eat a lot of vitamins, so they need to keep eating the vitamins, otherwise they get sick here. So I had to coffee, chai, and chocolate a little higher price, and and the fruit salad and yogurt low price. So Baba told me, you prefer a big fruit salad, and so you ask anybody for help. So I took 7, 8 people, and we decided to make, you know, a fruit salad for hundreds of people. We hundreds of people, all they were coming down from Prasad, from the Gufa. They had to receive some fruit salad. So I told my crew, whatever you do, start peeling the fruits, but whatever you do, never eat anything, never put something in your mouth, or if you do it, immediately wash your hands in the river and your mouth, because so they said yes, and they are there working. I was doing my cooking my food for the client who would come for lunch, and suddenly I was there. I was looking, I was turned towards the sadhu cook, and I saw an expression of horror on his face, disgust and horror. And he said, "Oh, jute is a word, you know, of something impure. But for a Brahmin, jute is like radioactive. I mean, it's something so disgusting. You cannot say." And I turn around and I see one of my helpers who was licking his hands with mango juice on his hands, and he was licking things. And so the sadhu went ballistic. And I immediately I brought him to the river, wash your hands, but for him, this was the end of it. So every sadhu was coming, sometimes a sadhu was coming, and he immediately would tell the story, and jute. It was really a situation. And for them, you know, it was physically very difficult to remain there, so close to us, jute, no? We were so impure. You could see, for them, it was really difficult to stay. So after a while, also Raghuveer comes, the guru, the boss of the sadhu, the chief of the sadhu was Raghuveer, this man with long hair, very beautiful with the jata down to his feet. And so immediately he tells him also the story, and he looks at us with really despise and disgust, and they all sit there as far as possible as they can from there was this little wall dividing maybe 30 centimeters high, this little wall dividing, were sitting as far as possible from us. So they are there, they cook food, and my usual clients, mostly German, 10, 15 people came to have lunch, and all of a sudden the sadhu started to serve the rice. They had to serve the rice, and the cook bends down, take a katori, and this little metal container, takes it from the ground and cleans it, rub it a little bit on his lungi, who was completely black, and he used it as a spoon to serve the rice. So the Germans were saying, "Oh my God, look at that! No hygiene, hygiene zero. It's terrible. That's why there are all these diseases here." So it became a cultural a cultural conflict. So for them, we were jute. For the Germans, they were totally dirty, and they were eating from the floor. And that's of course why in India there are so many diseases and all this kind of stuff. So there was this situation going on. And I was saying, wow, no, and now what will happen? No, because well, you could feel the tension between the two groups. And then Baba has finished all his Navaratri duty, had his lunch and everything. He comes down the stairs in front of the gufa. He arrives there, he looks towards us, turns the head, and he comes immediately inside, and he jumps on this little wall that was dividing the two groups. And he asked me, "What did you prepare, Amlota?" And I said, "Well, I have this and some sandwiches." "Oh, bring me sandwiches." So I went with the tally of the sandwiches, and he called the chief of the sadhu, Raghubir, and he said, "Here." And so for him, it was a total shock, because he said, you could see his expression, and then he turned to his sadhu and said, "Bhagwan ka prasad amrit hai." He said that the prasad from God is like amrit, like nectar. And so he took this sandwich, and then also all the other sadhus had the sandwich, and then he asked the sadhu cook what he had prepared, and he had prepared beautiful, what's his name? You help me. The beautiful fried with the chickpeas, farina di ceci, frittini.
No,
Pakora.
panini francesi.
Pakoras. So the sadhu had made all these pakoras, and the Westerners had to take the pakoras. So when everybody was eating the food of each other, Baba looked around and smiled and left.
Guarda Calmasini com'è carina.
Paolo, tell when Baba came to wake you up.
Una signora.
Paolo.
Ehi.
Paolo, la storia dove quando Baba G ti è svegliata nella grotta.
It's not a lira. Brutta figura qui.
Gayatri, but let him be, no?
I know, I love these stories though.
Oh, man. One morning I was very tired. And I decided to go in the gufa, where I slept in the gufa. And so I decided to go on my med, come si chiama il sacco a pelo? Sleeping bag. And it was 11 o'clock in the morning, something like that. And I start to sleep. After some time, I hear someone come inside to the gufa, making noise. And I said, "Wow, shut up," like that. It was Babaji. the people outside the gufa told that Babaji was coming inside the gufa, and then he came out like that.
Don't disturb. Sta dormendo.
I didn't saw Babaji.
Yeah, it was me.
Of course. No,
I saw the scene.
no. No,
I saw the scene. Yeah, Babaji
story.
went inside the gufa, put out his arm, and you could see he was shaking something. And then he jumped back, and he turned and said, but I heard some shouting from inside. Yes, shut up, fuck off, something like that. and then Paolo, half an hour later, he came out, and I told him, Paolo,
Oh,
you said
I-
Baba to fuck off. And he said, no.
I have a nice story now.
And then for two, 3 days, 3 days, it was so good. He was perfect, all waking up time. He behaved like a good boy for 2, 3 days.
I remember it's coming in my mind. I speak in English. I try to speak in English. It came in my mind to nice stories one time. We was in Gufa, and I don't remember why, but it was a tent in front of the Parembaba Gufa, and Babaji Gufa, no? There was a small Canadian tent, Canadian, no? And in one moment, Babaji appeared on the steps from the temple, and he was alone. And not often Babaji was alone, no? So he come down, and he looked at us. It was me, Uruk, and maybe 2 other people. I don't remember who. And he looked at us. He said, "Baba, sleep. You smoke Chilon." We didn't understand. Babaji went inside the tent, and he put out only his feet. He was out of the tent, no? So me and Uruk, we start to give massage to the feet. But I don't know how long it was the time. But people start to come down and look for Babaji and say, "You see Babaji? Where is Babaji?" And we all say, "I don't know, I don't know, I don't know." And we massage the feet of Babaji, no? I don't know how the people, they cannot see. Maybe because we were smoking a chilo, no? So Babaji stayed maybe, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes inside. But he was completely without any movement. He come in, he put the feet outside, and we massage, but he didn't move. And after 50 minutes, he try, come out, and he go. So we don't know why. Another nice stories, I think. One time it was me and Uruk Singh also. I was many times working with Uruk Singh. And we was on the river, we make a bridge. And we was inside the water. And that time also Babaji was alone. And I don't know, he come from the Gufa, come from the Duni and go to the Gufa. And he was the last bridge of the Gufa. And Babaji come, he start to cross the bridge. We saw Babaji, we just surprised. And Babaji sitting down, he put the hands like that and he say, "Baba, drink." We was looking like this, we start to take water from the river and put in the hands. And Babaji like this, drink the water. We did for 3-4 times, and then Babaji make like this with the hand and he go.
Bello.
It was a nice darshan. Very nice.
Bole Baba.
One more time. We were, I don't know, always that I didn't make many times Babaji with people, but few times I meet him alone. And one time I was come, I don't know, I didn't sleep in the afternoon. It was around 2 o'clock, 2:30, something like this. And I decided to go to the river. I went to from the dormitory, because we sleep in the big room, no, with the Indian, and I come down. I make the 3 steps of Babaji where the Hanuman sit. No, I come out and I see Babaji sit in the bank, you know, and he was sitting alone. And I went down, I went there, I make pranam, and I didn't know what to do. I say, I cannot live alone, Babaji, like this. No, I have to stay here. So I go behind him and I stand up and I wait, no? And Babaji was sitting, looking around, and nobody came. And after a few minutes, Babaji stand up and start to walk on the steps to Swamiji room. And there was 3 or 4 steps before Swamiji room, no? And he bring me, he put in front of him. And I was in front of him with Babaji in my back, and he put his arms on my shoulder like this, no? And he was on top of me. And that time I make my first mundan. I didn't make mundan for many years. And that time I was making the mundan, and I feel Babaji breathe with the nose in my head, because it was like this on me. And I was feeling so good, so incredible. And I start to fly with my mind, and I relax myself so much, and I went down to him. No, I bring my body to him. And that time he was 1 step up to me, and he start with his bell, and he give me 1 turn, and he put down for 1 step. And he did this for 3 or 4 times, all like this, and I was completely out of my mind. I don't know. No. Then we took the step to go down to the river, and I don't know, my mind was completely out. I didn't know what I did. And when we arrived down to the river, I was happy many people arrived to see Babaji and arrived to make pranam to him, so I can go, because it was too much for me in that moment. It was maybe 20 minutes together along like this, it was too much. Voleva chi c'è?
Can I say one more thing?
Definitely.
I want to tell it, if there is time, a little story. There was really a teaching for me. One morning, we were waiting for the Chandan around 3:30, because it was quite early, the Chandan. I was the first one in the line before the small door of the kutir to go down. I was there, and all in silence, waiting for Babaji say, come down for the Chandan. Then I felt inside exactly that I should open the door and come down with everybody to get Chandan. But even if the feeling was very, very deep, I didn't do. I say no, because I can do, I don't have the permission, he didn't call us. So all the mind started to trick me. Then I was waiting for signal, and there was Jamal Ju. Everybody knows Jamal, no? The old Jamal. So I say, Jamal, but we can climb the Chandan. So I was starting to make some confusion in my head. I should go down, I shouldn't go down. Well, so Jamal came and say, okay, now you can come. Okay, Jamal. So I give all my trust to Jamal. He had to guide, no? He had to give me permission. Then we went down, and then there was Babaji, and he said, oh, well, now this morning, the Chandan will be given by Jamal. Not by me, by Jamal. And that morning, the Chandan was given by Jamal. How stupid I was. So I realized in that moment, I should follow my feeling. That was very deep and very clear, but I was fucked up in my mind. And then the Chandan, we all, not only me, everybody, they got the Chandan from Jamal.
Ma insomma lo chiamava già nel guru, Babaji. Era già meglio che tanti altri.
Sì.
Was a teaching for me.
Certo, cavolo.
Gli altri.
Di se stessi.
Ragazzi, disappear.
Gaia, where are you?
Ciao. I remember one story that one time I was in the Gufa in the morning in the garden in the main ashram was the darshan outside with Babaji in the garden. And so from the Gufa I crossed the river and I start to go on the stairs. And in the middle of the stairs, I felt myself to be inside a presence, something very strong. And I asked inside to me, but I'm not alone. And because it was very strong, this presence. And a voice, and I say, and I asked to me, but you are Babaji, you are here, you are Babaji, because it was very, very strange. And one voice, very, very clear inside to me, he said, yes. And so never I heard a voice like so clear. And so I asked, but if you are here and I'm going to the garden, what I have to meet in the garden if you are here? And so this voice very clear told me, my living Murti, my living Murti. And I never thought about Babaji like a living Murti. So I was very surprised. I was very, very big emotion. And so I said to this voice inside to me, so if you are here and you are also in the garden, when I meet you in the garden, you have to give me a sign that all this is not a game of my mind. So I came in the garden and I make a line with other people waiting for a sign. I was looking to Babaji to bring some sign. So, and was my turn to make a pranam. I make a pranam, waiting, always waiting for that. And when I saw Babaji, Babaji was turned in the other side to speaking with another person. And so I stand up and I thought, I'm really stupid. I was stupid. It's a game of my mind. I'm really stupid. And I was working in the garden. In the garden there are come si dice dei sentieri, come si dice? Small path in cement, and there is the garden. So I was working in this line of cement, looking for a floor. Told to myself how stupid I was, and I look in front of me, and from a bush, there was a bush. Babaji came outside to the bush in my direction, running so quickly that I was stunned. I had no time to move out. And he came to me very close, and he bring me, because I was come si dice, kind of fall down because it was too quickly. He bring me like that, and he passed to my face in 3 centimeters, and he said to me, "Bah!" like that, with a smile, and shining with the sun. Incredible. And so I thought, yeah, incredible. I was waiting for a sign, because I was decided that he have to give me a sign when I have to decide that he have to give me. And he gave me the sign completely outside the time of other idea. It was like that. Incredible. Yeah. Yeah.
So beautiful, the living Morty. What a beautiful.
Yeah, incredible. Yeah. It was uh,
And he let us wash him, and, and particularly some people who went to the river with him, he he allowed us to wash him and dress him, and just like a Murti. Yeah. Very powerful. Thank you. Deeply, because I washed Baba's Murti, in the morning, and I think about massaging him with oil and remembering the few times I did massage his feet, or he massaged my head, and it's like the mystery. And thank you. Sharing these stories just bring them back, many of our minds, or our dreams, our visions, our experiences.
another time I was very tired to stay in Erakan because I had the impression that nothing happened with Babaji news. Nothing news happened with Babaji. I was working all the time, every day, the same, beautiful, but nothing new. And I was quite not depressed, but I was nothing happened. And so I went to the room of Gora Devi to speak with Gora Devi, to speak with Gora Devi in a room after Prasad at 12 o'clock in the morning, something. And so we sit with Gora Devi on the floor in her room, and I ask, but why you stay here so long time? And it's so hard to stay here. Also during the monsoon, Babaji put you to sleep on the roof of the room, and it's very hard. It's very hard. What is your relationship with Babaji? And she said, the maximum of relationship with Babaji that I have is after Prasad. When he come in my room, he sit in this come si dice poltrona? No, era una poltrona. A coach. Una chair. Sì, in a chair. He sit here. He stayed completely in silence. He stayed completely in silence. Me completely in silence. In that moment, there is the maximum of communication with Babaji, with deep communication with him. And in that moment, the door is open and Babaji came inside. And so I stand up to make a pranam, and he put myself down on my shoulder like that. Truck, you stay there. And then he said to Goradevi, Prasad. And so Goradevi opened a little, he bring a prasad to give to Babaji, and Babaji passed in front to me, and I was sitting on the floor, he was standing up, and with the longi, he touched my face. In that moment, the room disappeared. The reality disappeared completely. And an incredible mandala with thousands of petals, white, appeared to me. And then after some seconds, I felt again the longi on my face, and I wake up in the normal reality. And Babaji put his hand on my head like that, tac. And in Italian he said, "Hai capito adesso? You understand now? You understand now?" In Italian. So he went. So much energy came to me that I don't remember. I don't touch the stairs. I go down in the gufa, working like a beast all the day with a heart full of love. Incredible.
Oh, wow. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Hai capito adesso?
Hai capito
Yeah,
adesso.
anch'io pensavo lo stesso.
Hai capito adesso. Cosa sei venuto a fare qua?
Cazzarola.
Yeah. After some a couple of years that Babaji was left his body, I was in Milan. Like many other friends of mine, we start again a normal life in a city, in a town, with a family, with a job, everything like that. And I was very alone. I asked to me, I have not a relationship with Babaji. Where is Babaji now? Because I'm in this town and I don't feel Babaji. And by night, I had a dream that I was in a street in Milan with Babaji. In the morning was very dark, was not very early morning, with Babaji and few devotees, and Babaji was waiting for a car to leave, to go. So we was a little group of people waiting for this car. And in the dream was a little shop open in the other side of the street. And I decided to go in this shop to buy something to give to Babaji like a present. But before me in the shop was two people, and the situation is very slow. And so I was hurried to buy something. And sometime I looking to Babaji, and after 2 times that I was looking to Babaji, I saw the car already came, and Babaji inside, that he make like that to me from the window of the car. That was going. So with a sense of something really deep lost, because I was not there when Babaji was jumping on the car. Okay, in the morning, I remember the dream, but I didn't thinking about much time. But in the morning, I have to go in the bank, and I was in the same street, in the same place of the dream, and so I was curious to see. And so I went in the right place where was Babaji was in the dream. On the floor was right with a white varnish with right. I'm in my place with a flash that was on the wall with a flash to sign the exactly point where Babaji was by night standing up in the dream.
An arrow, Paolo, not a flash. Arrow.
Arrow,
Yeah.
with the arrow. Era dopo c'era scritto e sono in sede. Come si può dire sono in sede in inglese?
I am in my office, in my sede, my place. I
was asking where is Babaji? Babaji is always in his place. Always.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Does anybody have any questions for anyone?
Yeah.
Indira?
Yeah. So you were talking about Gora Devi. So is she in Italy now?
No, she has died.
Oh,
She has left the body. She had very bad Parkinson's for many years, and finally she died. But the nice story is that the day before she died, she went and packed a bag. She went and packed a luggage, and the nurse who had been taking care of her said, "Well, what are you doing? Why are you packing this bag?" And she said, "I'm going home." And the next day she died.
so sweet, which means Babaji came to take her.
Yes.
Very nice, very beautiful. But was she able to say anything about Babaji's coming or? any of the sign before
No.
her last? Yeah. You were there with her when she
I was
left?
there with her just a couple of months before, and yeah, because I would go to visit, but it was very difficult because she she would go in and out. She would like lose her mind, and then all of a sudden she would come back very sharp just for 1 second, and then go out again. It was hard. She suffered a lot physically, but I think that's because Babaji had said he would liberate her in this lifetime. So whatever the final karma was, I think the Parkinson's was that finishing of her karma.
So beautiful, so beautiful. That's so lovely. I was just about to ask Ramloti ji, do you have her book Fire of Transformation in
Yep.
the store?
It's in the shop.
Yes.
It's,
Yeah, in the shop. And also Raghuji was saying he wrote some books about Babaji, his association. So do you have his books also?
who's that?
Raghu.
We're out of
Raghu?
we're out of Raghu's book at the moment, and so is Harakan. So I didn't get any. Not read.
Oh, okay. So I was looking, and then okay, you have a. I'm going to buy Gaura Devi because I heard that Gaura Devi was with Babaji from 72 until 84 or something, right? All the time she was with him.
Yes, very beautiful. So somebody else has a question?
Hi. Hello.
Hello. Hello, Lita.
Ramloti, can you hear me? Hi.
Yes.
First of all, I want to tell you that I love your name, Ramloti. It is such a cute name. Can you hear me? Yeah. It is first time when I heard your name, I had this big smile on my face. Like it is a small vessel of Lord Rama. It is such a cute name. It is so sweet.
But also,
And
there's also Ramlota here, so he has the
yeah. Lota is big in size and Loti is a small vessel, you know. So I live in Pune and I belong to Uttarakhand, and my native village is very close to Ranikhet. Yeah, and first time I just so badly want to share my experience with you all. The first time I heard about Babaji was in year 1998. After my marriage, me and my husband went to meet our extended family and get the blessings of our elders in Ranikhet. So one of the family members told us that there is a Herakan Baba temple, and Shami Kapoor is a very big disciple of the Baba. And would you like to go and have a look around? So we said, okay, why not? And we were only just, it was just after 5 days of our marriage, and we went there and had darshan, and completely having no idea about Baba, and in complete unawareness, we started our married life with his blessings. And now when I look back, I feel so surprised and blessed all at the same time, that he has his own strange ways. We are nothing, we don't understand even maybe an iota of what his plans are. And after that, what happened is last year we shifted to Pune, and then this COVID happened. And after that, absolutely no connect with Baba or Hera Khan or Rani Khed whatsoever. And 2 years back, I went to Jageshwar. If you all have been to Jageshwar, and we did puja over there, and we met a pujari ji over there who did pujas and all for us, and we came back, made good acquaintance with that person, and I stayed in touch with him. And then last year, what happened is I was going through a series of a Guruji from Rishikesh who was telling about various Brahmarishis of India. And in that series, he talked about, in one episode, he talked about Hera Khan Baba. And I heard that, I watched that video, and then I went to Hera Khan, and he told that Hera Khan Baba's videos are available on YouTube. And I went to YouTube and I watched the video, and it was middle of the night, and I cried for whole 2.5 or 3 hours. I don't know. I just kept looking at the videos, and I cried and I cried and I cried. It was like I found my son, or I found my mother. I don't know. And it was just, and then after that I was hooked to his videos. And then he only, slowly he led me from one video to other. And then I was craving that, okay, from where can I get people who are his followers? Then I started posting on groups. Is there any follower of Babaji in Pune? Is there any? But I got no response. And then I came across your videos, and I started watching the videos and the satsangs and everything. And one day, what happened is I went to sleep after this first encounter with the YouTube videos. I was sleeping and I saw him in my dream, and he came along with two other saints. He in the center and one on the right, one on the left. And he came, and I was sitting on the ground, and he stood just in front of me, and he placed his right hand on my head. And um, I was just filled with light. My whole body inside, it was just flooded with divine white light, and it was such an intense experience. And then I was like very happy that, okay, he has accepted me. And um, I started feeling him in me and around me. And I just used to, sit and close my eyes and imagine him, and or watch his videos and everything. And one day it so happened that I was sitting with my eyes closed, and I felt that his face was in front of me, and it slowly moved towards me, and it just fit on my face. And it just fitted on my face. And then for several minutes, I guess, I don't know for how long, but my face was his face, or his face was my face for so long. And that feeling, stayed with me for so many days. And I used to go for a walk. I used to feel that he's walking along with me. When I used to cook, I used to feel that he's standing by my side. And suddenly a shift happened inside me. And it was like my inside, split into two. I was losing myself, and I was still on this side, and I was on that side as well. I don't know how to put it in words, but I felt like Lalitas at the same time. And this love for him was growing, and all the Hindi movie romantic songs which suddenly changed into bhajans. and it's beautiful. And then one day again, he came in my dream. And again, he was sitting in the couch in the drawing room. And I just turned around him, and he was sitting there, and he was looking at me with these sharp eyes. He was looking at me, and he was sucking his thumb. And I was like, Baba aa gaye. And Baba, you are here, or Baba aa gaye karke. I just rushed towards him, and I wanted to hug him, catch hold of him. And as soon as I, leapt towards him, he disappeared into thin air, and I just got up. So it was such a surprise. And I was very sad. Where did he disappear and everything? And then a few days later, he again came in my dreams, and again with two sadhus with him. and he poured water from a vessel over my head. He gave me a bath. Then he with his hands he placed half moon, the crescent moon, on my head, and that was also very intense. And then I started seeing certain numbers and alphabets appear in front of my eyes. Even while if I'm sitting or I'm lying down for some time, suddenly I would go into some trance kind of a situation for some moments, and then these things would start flashing in front of my eyes. Sometimes some pattern would appear, or some numbers would appear, or something like that, which I could not understand at all. And then one day I told Baba, you talk in codes, how आप code में बात करते हो. And such experiences have been. And then I talked to that pujari in Jageshwar, and I told him that I'm having these experiences. And then that pujari ji was then he told me that he is grandson of a very close disciple of the old Heda Khan Baba. Hello?
Yeah, we're listening.
Yeah, okay. Okay. So that Pujari ji, his name is Mr. Kamal Bhatt, and his grandfather was very close disciple of the old Hera Khan Baba, and he told me about the tapasya he used to do in Badchina and areas around that. And then he told me that when next time when you come to Jageshwar, he would take me to meet one close disciple of Hera Khan Baba, who is Baba Jalandhar Nath. And after that, I was like, I have to go, I have to go, I have to go to see Baba Jalandhar Nath. And then we went and we saw him in Badchina, and he knew why I had come there. And I had all these fancy ideas that when I go and see a guru, he would maybe embrace me like anything, and he will put his thumb over here and something will happen to me. And I had all these strange fancy ideas about meeting a guruji or something. And he immediately told me, kya soch ke aaye ho, that I'll put a thumb on your forehead and everything will happen and this kind of thing. Then he sat and made me understand a few things, and many things clarified, and then we came back. I came back with a full heart and happy heart. After that, a few days back, again Babaji appeared in my dreams, and I saw that he was sitting on a dais, on a elevated munch, and on a singhasan, and me and my husband were sitting on the floor in front of him in the hall kind of a place. And he came and he was like he joined. I'm holding my phone in one hand, so I cannot join both hands. Like he did this gesture, and he hit my husband in the heart like this. And my husband went into some kind of situation where I in the dream I thought that okay, he has opened up to Babaji. And then he hit me, and he hit again, and he hit again, and nothing happened. And then he kind of gave up on me and went back. And then he looked at me at a very hopeless kind of a look, and like, what do I do with you kind of a look on in his eyes. And then I was like, no Baba, here it is soft. I'm showing him that here it is soft, you please hit here, don't give up, don't give up. And at that time I could understand that he was trying to tell me that he is there, he is ready, he is always there, but there is something which is holding me back. And from then, that day onwards, I'm trying to, you know, open up more and, you know, get rid of whatever obstacles are there. So that is my story.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for listening.
Really, I invite you to share, you know, now it's getting toward the end of our time, so some people may have commitments, but it sounds as if you're continually having these experiences. And I think one thing that helped us all to remember that Babaji is always guiding us and teaching us. And so thank you so much.
That was
Thank you
very
so much.
brave.
And
Very brave.
yeah, and I see that another young Italian young man has joined us, Witzy. Aren't you part Italian?
Ciao, Wizzy.
Ciao, Wizzy.
Ciao.
Ciao, Izzy.
Yeah, look at Cartari. There's Cartari. There's Cartari.
Olive oil is waiting for you, Witzy.
Yeah, where's Raghunandan?
He left. I think he went to Angelica. I don't know.
It's possible, yeah.
So I just want to say that next week we're going to have Sita Rami and Motu or Morgan, who spent many years with Babaji. Sita Rami was Radhashyam's wife, and some of you may have met her. And so we're looking forward to that. And then after that, we're going to have Pujari and Hiraman talk more about some of their experiences and going in deeper. And there's, you know, often opportunities for people to share their stories as well. And we'll keep going on with, if people have suggestions of what they would like to happen, let us know. But I really want to thank all of our Italian devotees that have spent this time to be with us, because
Grazie mille a tutti voi.
gracias.
Grazie.
Amazing.
Some flowers for all of you. Some flowers.
Oh, I thought it was, thank you. And
It's lovely to see you all.
and what I want to say is that please keep getting on the satsangs if you're able, and keep sharing your stories, because they never stop. And you've already experienced that when you hear one person tell a story, it reminds you of a little situation that you forgot about maybe, and then you could also tell your story. So please be
That is true.
it's part of the family, and it's wonderful to be with you all. Yeah, I've met most of you briefly in Italy, but now I get to know more about you. Great.
But Italian stories, they are very strange.
I would like to ask
They have a
something.
different story than everybody, I think.
I love Carlu's story about going into the castle and saying,
But this is the way Babaji, this is the way Babaji, it can be to everybody, no? It's different level. Yeah, I don't know.
Somebody had a question.
Yeah,
Jerry.
I wanted to ask something to Paolo, because I remember the end before Baba Samadhi, the whole Kirtan hall was being changed with paintings, with flying saucers and other objects. Were you involved with this painting inspired by the Black Army, and somehow Babaji guided that he was leaving? I remember also the black calendar of 1984 with the black background calendar. It's also fascinating. I wonder who made that and who was involved in painting the Kirtan hall in this kind of bye-bye gesture from Babaji. Flying saucer.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
I think it's Nagini made.
Yes.
Nagini,
Yeah, many
Thank
people.
you, Karma. Yes.
you make, no?
Yes, I did the whole Kirtan hall. Yes.
Yeah. Nagini was made.
Yeah.
Before it was a kind of Black Army make, and it was very terrible.
No, was still not a Black Army. No. It was not.
No, there was from Salerno.
Babaji said everybody can have to make something on the wall. I remember we was working by night. I make a little piece of wall on the left side, watching the throne of Babaji. And then we make people make many confusion. And in the morning, Babaji came and he said that was horrible, and we have to cancel everything. So then, except my wall. Then I remember Nagini made a beautiful come si dice rotondo, round paint. Yeah. And well, we changed many things there. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Everything was a lila. Everything with Babaji was a lila. How are you, Pujari?
Hi, Pujari Joe.
Happy to see you all. I'm doing very well, keeping quiet in a Russian small village, but I'm happy to connect. And you're all like so dear in my heart. I hope we can do this many more times to inspire ourselves and new people with these beautiful stories. Because I was also wondering how Babaji inspired you to paint, but you did paint a little bit in the Kirtan Hall in Babaji's time. So
Qualche dipinto nella Kirtan Hall.
In the Kirtan Hall, no, I made a wall on the Italian Mandir. And then one time I bring a big portrait of Babaji that I give to him like a present that I met in Italy. I give to him this painting.
I remember us playing guitar and my bouzouki. Do you remember?
Yeah, I was thinking about that a few minutes ago. We was very young. You was a boy with this bouzouki. Oh my God! Playing the goofa. Yeah. One night, Babaji said to go everybody in the gufa to make a kirtan all the night in the Christmas night night. And he said that if we play all the night long, Jesus Christ appears to us. And I remember only that I play all the night and I smoke chilum all the night because Prem Baba put on my mouth the chilum. And I was playing your bouzouki. It was a very great night. And someone told that he was he saw Jesus Christ. I remember one guy that he said, I saw Jesus Christ on the river.
I saw him.
Nagini saw the Jesus Christ on the. I remember that Christmas.
I saw him.
You guys, they're looking at us. We're not the black army anymore. We're the gray army.
I am a white.
But what's important to know, all you folks, is that you don't have to have an Italian satsang to be here. Please, it's a Baba satsang, and we're all part of this family. And your presence enriches us, like Pujari, Hiraman, not many people get on Gayatri all the time, Nagini. And it's so rich, and it brings us all together. Like when we would gather for Gu Purnima, or something like that, it brings us all together. So please continue to get on.
Yeah, very warm feelings. Thank you, Ramloti.
I miss you guys so much. I miss you so much. I'll be in Italy as soon as they let me in. Ecco, guarda, un altro bellissimo giovane devoti. Guarda, everybody, this is Raghunandan.
Where's Raghunandan? Hi, Raghunandan. We miss you.
Yeah.
I miss you.
We had a lovely Navratri here in with Raghunandan. He's an amazing young man. Would love to, maybe we could have a satsang with some of our second generation.
Great idea. Yeah.
Would love to hear the stories, because something brings all of us together. And whether we've met Babaji in physical form or not, there's something that keeps pulling us, like Prem Das. he goes every year to Harakan. You know, something is happening always. So that's wonderful.
Thank you, Ramloti ji. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bole Baba Ki Jai.
Thank you all.
Jai,
Thank
jai,
you.
jai.
Thank you all. Thank you all of you for sharing.
Thank you so much.
Vieni presto, Gayatri. Come quick.
Bole Baba ki jai.
Bole Baba ki jai.
Baba ki
Bole Baba ki jai.
Jai, jai, jai.
Hariom.
Ciao, Prendas.